Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app, O'Connor and Company.
And it's Friday, the day after Christmas, Boxing Day, they call it there in the Empire. And we hope you had a beautiful, wonderful Christmas day. We're back here live. We did have special programming yesterday on behalf of our friends at Fisher House Foundation. And if you dipped in and checked it out, I hope you enjoyed it. And it's a good reminder here at the end of the year that if there's any spare change around, give it to Fisher House, fisherhouse.org. Coming up later this morning, we're going to be joined by friends of the program. We've got Daniel Turner from Power of the Future joining us at 7:05, 7:35. Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer, and it's timely to have him as we talk about the military strikes against Niger, which we will be showing in Nigeria. Nigeria. Well, it was on the border of Niger, and okay. Well, I'll explain. And then coming up at 8:05, Grover Norquist, what you might expect from your tax cuts coming up in the next year, and also even more good economic news hitting on the 24th. We'll unpack it all. It's Patrice Onwuka this Friday in your nation's capital.
It's
Good morning,
not
Patrice.
A Friday.
No?
Larry, it's a Friday, and it's the last Friday of the year. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. That's true. This is the last time we're going to be plagued by a Friday in 2025, but something tells me.
But I've got plenty more in 2026.
Yeah, I knew it. All right, so we've got lots to, and we will talk about the Nigerian strikes against ISIS in northwest Nigeria a little bit later, coming up in about 10 minutes, actually. But let's reset for a minute, get our priorities in line. Family, friends, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. How was your Christmas day, Patrice?
Oh, it was great, Larry. We had a family over. They have some little ones like we do. We ate lots of different foods, cultural foods, and made merry. So I guess we had a merry Christmas.
What do you mean cultural foods? Aren't all foods cultural? It just depends on which culture.
American food is not that cultural, though.
How dare you?
Mashed potatoes?
Really? 5:08 and you're going to start trashing our country and our food?
I am not.
Mashed potatoes,
I'm just
fantastic.
saying,
it might not be.
There's the spices. There are not a lot of spices compared. Well, Cajun has lots of spices.
Hold on. So for our Christmas feast, we had a beautifully smoked Cajun spiced pork shoulder. Some call it a butt. We had a big fat butt, is what I'm saying. And it was there's nothing more American than Cajun spices. You telling me that American culture is not spicy?
But where did but the origin of Cajun food and spices?
So unless we're eating like the Cherokee, it's not real American food? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, listen, I'm not going to go down. Let me back that truck up a little bit. And I will say we had African and Caribbean cultural
other
foods
cultures.
In addition,
yes, exactly.
Other cultural foods. I should, yes. Forgive me, folks. Forgive me, folks. Everyone has a culture. And, French fries it could be your culture.
So now,
chicken nuggets may be your cultural food.
Radio is a audio-based medium, as you know.
Yes.
So I feel like I need to paint a picture for our listeners because, and we've already discussed it a little bit during our pre-show meeting, you look like you've been through quite a bit in the last 12 hours. You look
because I was getting things ready. I was cooking so many dishes. And can I just mention some of the dishes I cooked? I cooked goat pepper soup, bacon-wrapped shrimp.
Wait, don't go so fast.
And chicken wings for the appetizer. That's just the appetizer.
Goat pepper soup.
Yes, this is a Nigerian delicacy, a Nigerian dish. It's an appetizer.
Anticipation of the terrorist strikes that we executed.
Well, I mean, we maybe
Did you have some inside information that we should know about?
My heart already. Exactly. I knew it was going to be happening.
All right.
I did baby backed ribs. I did a salmon. I did beef stew. I did coconut rice. I did mac and cheese. Very tasty yams.
It's fantastic.
Sweet yams.
So
I had a full spread.
Little tail off in the kitchen, which is nice. But
I did. I was
What I'm
exhausted.
saying is you look a little hungover. You look like you had a little extra holiday cheer last night.
So, accidentally, we
it
had
always
some
starts
cultural
out
drinks.
accidentally.
Well, we had some cultural drinks, and one is ginger-based and one is hibiscus-based. So these are beautiful cultural drinks from the islands. And turns out they actually drink them back home in Nigeria too. But, African slaves were brought to the Caribbean. In any case, I had these drinks in my fridge for a while, and I didn't think about fermentation. And so I drank a very tall glass of this ginger beer. It's freshly made, homemade, and everything. And I'm like, fine. By 6 o'clock, I'm curled up on the ottoman with my husband, and I'm knocked out. And I just thought, oh, well, I was up early cooking and cleaning. And then it hit me. Fermentation.
It sounds like you got roofied. Was Bill Cosby invited over for Christmas? It sounds like somebody slipped you something.
Not quite. Not
all
quite,
right,
Larry.
all right. Wait, so hold on. So these drinks, you didn't go to the store and buy them. They're not
No, these are homemade. These are Caribbean.
So you
drinks
made moonshine.
Homemade. No, it's not. It's not. But it might have turned into that because I had it sitting in my fridge since Thanksgiving. Okay.
Oh well,
I mean,
of course it fermented.
I just I sip a little bit here, sip a little bit there, but I brought it all out because I wanted to share with our African family friends this Caribbean recipe.
Hold on.
And I didn't think about the fermentation that goes on. I thought, I didn't know, folks. I did not know. So
hold on.
Everybody is healthy. Everybody is safe. I just realized maybe that's why I was asleep on my husband's chest in the sitting room.
You were knocked
and
out.
The other guests were we were all just watching TV, but I could not.
This is hilarious.
Could not kind of just get myself together for a good hour.
So you had hibiscus punch and ginger beer. For lack of a better term.
It's not beer. We just call it ginger beer.
That has been cold fermenting for a month in your refrigerator.
I didn't
know. And it didn't occur to you that
fermentation is a thing.
Yes, it is.
Well, lesson learned. So now I know.
It didn't have
I might not keep it around for a month.
I want to taste it. I think we should do shots later. You still have some left over?
It is not that bad.
Bring that
it's
to
just,
the WMAL Christmas
I don't
party.
drink. I'm, anything, just the lightest little taste of anything would just put me under the table.
Good to know.
I drank a nice tall glass, and now I know why.
That's
I
hilarious.
was sleeping on my
husband's
husband's
kids have any of it?
Oh no. Now I'm glad so. But
so you made your own Christmas cheer. This is wonderful. You made merry, and I'm very happy for you. That's
all right,
good.
Larry. We've got now. What about your Christmas? Your Merry Christmas.
It was lovely. We played some family board games. We did so the decision was to open the presents Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And this was just the immediate my in-laws family, which is, let's see, how many were there? There were 2, 5, 6, 7. There were only 8 of us. It took 2.5 hours to open the presents.
Ooh.
We do go one at a time. We divide them all up. We count how many everybody has, and then we basically, so that way everybody watches
round and around.
Around the circle. And but it took 2.5 hours. There were a lot of presents involved here. Which
That's
I guess everybody had a good year. Yeah, exactly. It was very nice. And
what was your favorite present, Larry?
Well, I can't pick favorites. That's not
okay.
Not
what's one good present you got?
Okay, so you see the sweater I'm wearing. I wear this sweater a lot. It's a blue knit sweater, and there's a little embossed American flag in it.
Yes.
And my brother and sister-in-law got me, and I don't think they knew that I wore this sweater all the time, but I do. This is one of my in fall and winter. I wear this sweater a lot. They got me basically the exact same, and I've had this for 10 years.
Oh, man.
They got me the exact same sweater in a very nice, coffee with cream colored, sort of like a mocha color. Very pretty.
That would be nice.
I will wear it next week so you can see it. So I love that. It's a very nice and very classy knit
really
sweater
nice.
with just a subtle embossed American flag in the same color. It's just sort of very nice. So I liked that very much. And I got some instruments for my grill, little cages that you can put vegetables in and grill them without the veggies, falling through.
Yeah,
very excited about that. You're making me think. I got really nice stuff. Can I leave it at that? Oh, I got a Steam gift card. Steam was down, by the way. Steam, you don't do video games.
No.
Steam is an online video game platform, the biggest, most popular in the world for PC gaming, and it crashed. It crashed on Christmas Eve.
Too many people playing.
I don't know what it was. I haven't seen it yet. The servers were all done, but a lot of people buy gift cards as last-minute presents, and they couldn't do it because Steam was down. But I did. I got a nice Steam gift card. I got good stuff. It was a great Christmas, and I got to see my family. My immediate family, I got to see them, and I heard from my kids who are all traveling right now. My daughter and new son-in-law called me from Okinawa, where my son-in-law is
Yeah.
stationed right now. And they called me the next day, of course, because it's 12 hours ahead. And they're having a great Christmas together as newlyweds.
Beautiful.
It was wonderful. And it was a great Christmas all around. Yes, it was.
Beautiful.
Can't say the same for radical Islamic ISIS terrorists who got woken up last night with some rockets and tomahawks coming through their tents out there in Nigeria. We'll give you the details of that strike in a moment. First, though, it's 5:15, WMAL traffic and weather. Every 10 minutes, first on the fives. Jamie Whitner, you cleaning up all the wrapping and bows still? Is it like a mess in your house?
It is kind of still a mess.
Or should I say in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center? That's what I meant.
Yes, the whole thing. Still, it's going to be cleanup continuing through the weekend.
And as mentioned, Larry O'Connor here with Patrice Onwuka, who's sleeping off some sort of drug-induced Caribbean sort of Bob Marley haze of hallucinations last night due to some homemade brew. And as we were sort of wrapping up our Christmas last evening, we got the message from our commander-in-chief that there had been launch of military strikes against ISIS terrorists. Here's how the president announced it on Truth Social. Tonight, at my direction as Commander-in-Chief, the United States launched a powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria.
Oh, boy.
Who have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years and even centuries. I previously warned these terrorists that if they did not stop slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay, and tonight there was. The Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes, as only the United States is capable of doing. Under my leadership, our country will not allow radical Islamic terrorism to prosper. May God bless our military, and Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there will be more if their slaughter of Christians continues. We'll give you the details on the strike, but it should be noted the terrible conditions in Nigeria for Christians, and there's a vibrant Christian community there, a lot of missionaries there. There's a long history of missionary activity. I know you can speak to it because of your family connections to Nigeria too, and I'd love for you to do so, Patrice. But you'll remember the ISIS terrorists who came in and kidnapped all of those young girls from a Christian church, or excuse me, a Christian school and church compound during the Obama administration. And the best they could muster was a Instagram hashtag campaign, remember?
Michelle Obama,
Yes, but nothing of any sort of significance to actually compel the terrorists to return those children, and many of them were kept. Some of them were returned after horrible abuse, and this kind of thing has been going on for quite some time. The latest round of violence has been unfathomable, and the president did vow several weeks ago that he would do something about it, and he certainly has.
And thank goodness we have a president who doesn't just pretend to care. He actually does care. I think it's important that you root out this kind of sinister religious targeting of Christians in Nigeria. And it's really been, for decades this has been going on, but it's been ramped up in recent years. It's great now that we have attention being drawn on it. You've seen rapper Nicki Minaj work with the Trump administration to draw attention to this issue, because frankly, these are black people being killed by other black people, but black terrorists. You would think that black celebrities, black elitists, some of the pundits that you see on your favorite leftist news outlet would give a care. And the only thing they're doing is questioning how many Nigerians are actually being killed. Oh, it's not as big. It's not as big of an issue they claim, but it is. We're talking about. I mean, the estimates range from over 100,000 or more over the past decade. And when you see the horrific videos, Larry. Sometimes it comes up in my husband's feed where they will literally machete or shoot to death a mother holding her babies. You'll see piles of bodies, Christians in churches, being just slaughtered for their faith. For simply believing in Jesus Christ. It's wrong. And frankly, the international community has turned a blind eye to it. President Trump has not. And I'm grateful that he's sent a message. And apparently he's worked worked with the Nigerian government, who there are lots of interclan issues here, even with the Nigerian government. But they at this point they realized they could not stand up against the American government and had to back down from their threat to stand against President Trump if he came in. So apparently they worked with him.
Yeah, you're right. And I've seen most estimates going up to about 50,000, but there are some estimates that suggest even more, because it's so hard to capture all of the data there. But you're right to point out the brutality, the viciousness of the murders, and the absolute just carnage that have been delivered by these ISIS terrorists. What we know about the strikes right now is somewhat sketchy. I'm sure we'll get a full briefing later today, and we'll talk to Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer, who's done some operations, I believe, in Africa in the past. He's joining us at 7:35. This occurred in the Sokoto state, that's northwest Nigeria, on the Niger border. Multiple strikes targeting the infrastructure for these terrorists and their personnel. The indication is that there were a dozen or more Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from an unnamed U.S. Navy ship from the Gulf of Guinea. Some references say just generally to airstrikes, but I'm not seeing any news reports that there were actually aircraft involved at this point. AFRICOM reported multiple ISIS terrorists killed, no civilian casualties mentioned in the initial assessments. And the operation occurred coordination with the Nigerian authorities. The Nigerian government knew about this. They worked in cooperation with the U.S. military and were absolutely in favor of it. They wanted our help, and they got it. And, well, we'll give you more details as we learn them as the sun rises here in the nation's capital. It is 5:23. It's 5:36 now on this 26th day of December. They call it Boxing Day over there in the United Kingdom, and we're gonna do a little deep dive into the origins of Boxing Day coming up in just a second, so that you can sound smart with all your friends and family. That's why you listen to this show, so you can sound smart.
To learn something new every time.
And sound smarter than someone else. Say, actually,
Yes.
It's Boxing Day, and here's what that means. Coming up at 7:05, Daniel Turner, Power of the Future. He always sounds smart. 7:35, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer. 8:05, Grover Norquist, Americans for Tax Reform. Larry O'Connor with Patrice Onwuka. Did you celebrate Boxing Day, considering you come from one of the, British colonies?
No, we opened all of our presents yesterday. But back home in the Caribbean, they do celebrate Boxing Day.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Canadians.
It really is. That's when you actually open
Day.
presents. It's so interesting.
Back in the day, when I was in my youth, I dated a Canadian. That might be why I have some pent-up hostility towards our friends in the Great White North, by the way. No, she was a lovely young lady, a Vancouver-type girl. And anyway, she would get me a Boxing Day present. And I was like, oh, thanks. What does that even mean? What is that? I mean, it's Christmas. Why not just make it a Christmas present? But apparently Christmas presents are for, family. And your friends get a Boxing Day present. Is that right? I don't know.
Maybe.
All
I
right.
mean, I haven't celebrated.
Well, I haven't either. But we'll get into the details of Boxing Day in a moment. But I really did enjoy Politico. Politico came out with an article. You know what? Let me just read the the description of the article in the X promotion. The headline, by the way, is How the Far Right Stole Christmas. I'm not joking. It seems
says,
like a
the
parody.
headline says everything.
I thought it was a parody. I really did. And inexplicably, there's a picture here of Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni of Italy. Because she's put out a couple of beautiful videos celebrating Christmas in Italy and emphasizing the nativity and, the birth of Christ and God incarnate on the planet.
Yes. Jesus.
Christmas things. Yes, exactly. There's a picture of Giorgia Meloni holding a Christmas tree bulb, and it says, How the Far Right Stole Christmas. Seasonal traditions and good cheer are being repurposed to serve political ends. Now, that's the Politico headline subhead. Here's how the person who does Politico's social media campaign described the article. Are you ready? Far-right parties are claiming the festive season as their own, recasting Christmas as a marker of Christian civilization.
I mean, who runs their social media? Do you not? No, this is what happens when you take any sort of biblical history out of schools. Because now people don't understand that the word Christmas is centered on Christ, Jesus Christ, our Lord.
No. See, you're just being a far-right fanatic. You're recasting
Apparently.
Christmas as a marker of Christian civilization. Don't you realize Christmas, up until now, has never had anything to do with Christianity? If you write it Politico.
And the story gets it. And we were talking about this on Wednesday morning, Larry, which is finally the emphasis on Jesus and on the religious aspect of Christmas. That, as Charlie Brown asked, what is the meaning of Christmas? It's not just food and gifts and family time and all the feels. It is actually about celebrating Jesus. But listen to this paragraph. Religion often feels beside the point to these folks. Many of the politicians leading these campaigns are not especially devout, and only a minority of their voters are practicing Christians. What matters is Christianity as culture, a civilizational shorthand that draws a boundary between us and them. So literally they are saying that because we actually celebrate Christmas as a religious holiday, which it is, that somehow we're not really Christians. We're just masking and using it to create some new battlegrounds in politics.
That's right. You don't really believe what you believe. You're just using it as a political weapon, which, by the way, is always a tell about the political left, because that's who they are. Right. They always say, well, this is how we approach these things, and so that must be how they're doing it too. It's like, no.
And they go and they make up these wokey holidays like Kwanzaa, which is a knockoff of the Jewish culture and Jewish they use these candles, a knockoff of the menorah. I mean, like, the left is just so ridiculous.
Here's another part of this article. It really is just it's if the Babylon Bee or anyone, if I had written this as a parody of Politico.
It's a Babylon Bee.
In Italy, Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has made the defense of Christmas tradition central to her political identity. She's repeatedly framed the holiday as part of the nation's endangered heritage, railing against what she calls ideological attempts to dilute it. Anyone who has visited Italy, and certainly Italians who literally are in Italy every day, are struck by the fact that this was the center of Christianity in the Western Hemisphere beginning around, 80 A.D. Mm-hmm. And you go and of course, obviously flourished through the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. And now when you go there, you see these beautiful edifices and gorgeous Catholic churches and Christian and yet they're empty. If you can't recognize that the Italian, the Christian part of the Italian heritage, which is pretty significant, is under attack and being diminished, you're not observing, you're not watching. Obviously, and she's not making it up. And then she goes on, the article goes on. How can my culture offend you, Meloni has asked in the past, defending nativity scenes in public spaces. She's argued that, by the way, it's hilarious. It's like people are getting upset that she wants a nativity scene in a public space in Italy, which is just replete with Christianity and Christian symbols everywhere you look.
Everywhere. Why do you go to the Sistine Chapel? Not because you like the outside architecture, right? I mean, but this is the left. This is what they do. When you stand up for what's right, you stand up for faith and freedom together, then they want to now call you radical, crazy, and then suggest that you're the one who's fake and false when they're the ones who have tried to strip public life of any sort of religion.
And you're an extremist. You're an extremist.
They call you an extremist
for actually being, but which is typical. I mean, conservatives try to conserve our principles, conserve our values, conserve our culture.
Right.
And if you're trying to conserve it, you're an extremist. This is my favorite part, though, about Meloni. She argued that children should learn the values of the nativity rather than just associating Christmas with food and presents.
Thank you.
That's
the point.
Right. Yes.
That's the point. They get it. And that is the right message.
Oh.
That is exactly the right thing she's doing.
Wait until the writers of Politico get a load of the final 5 minutes of Charlie Brown Christmas. They're never going to believe what Linus.
They probably never got to it.
Well, Linus is a right-wing extremist. Absolutely. It's 5:44. All right, so it's the day after Christmas, which here in America we refer to as the day after Christmas. Or
Yes.
if we get really fancy, we call it December 26th. But in England and all throughout the Commonwealth, as they like to refer to themselves, it's Boxing Day. December 26th, day after Christmas. It's Boxing Day. And I want you to sound smart when you see people today and say, oh, happy Boxing Day. We got some tea and crumpets, perhaps. Or fish and chips. Canada, Australia, New Zealand, all the other nations in the Commonwealth. It's a public bank holiday, which is what we call like a federal holiday here, right? It has nothing to do with actually getting into a ring and punching people in the face with big padded gloves.
No, not that boxing. Okay.
Well, gosh, there's a mistake I won't make again. Yeah. No, it comes from the tradition of giving Christmas boxes, containers filled with, gifts, money, bonuses. Employers actually used to do this, especially for their employees who had to work on Christmas Day back in the
You
day.
mean servants or slaves back in the Victorian era,
Like-
which is, I think, where it stems from?
guess
Yeah,
we're-
same difference.
sort of
Maybe not an employee. A slave might not be an employee, but, it's
Indentured
okay.
in some way, yeah, sort of a Dickensian thing. Someone had to clean up after the
After the
or cook
Christmas,
the
yeah.
dinner for the lords and ladies, right? Sometimes these boxes included leftover food that they would then give
I'm
to
sure.
the workers and lower class servants, tradespeople. The practice dates back to the 17th century, actually, predating our independence, with roots possibly going all the way back to the Middle Ages. So
Yes.
one would suspect that our forefathers here in America, when we were colonies of the Brits, we celebrated Boxing Day here. But somehow it sort of like drifted away, and we stopped because we kept a lot of British traditions, obviously.
Traditions, yeah.
But not Boxing
Maybe
Day.
that one, I mean, because I think our founders didn't want us to have that model where you had the lords and the ladies and the servants,
Suppose,
and you just like the peasants get a box of gifts at the end of the year, after being, however they were treated all year long. So I think the founders said, no, this is a new nation. We're not going to take that tradition with us.
So that's one theory, that it was, wealthy households would put together boxes of goodies and leftovers and food and bonuses of cash, and they would give
Yeah.
it to the servants and tradespeople.
And give them the day off too from
Right.
work,
Right.
which is also to go.
They
visit
had to work
family.
on Christmas Day, but they get today off, right? Now, there's another theory that this goes back to churches opening up their alms boxes. There's a little box where people would just put their little,
Yes.
pennies and halfpennies and threepence and tuppence and whatever the heck they call their money over there, put it into the little box. And then December 26th also happens to be the feast of St. Stephen. St. Stephen is
Okay.
the first martyr of the church who's stoned to death in the Acts of the Apostles, right?
Yeah.
And what they would do, and he's the patron saint of charity and known for charity. So they would open up the alms boxes on the feast of St. Stephen, and then they would, distribute the contents to the poor and the needy. And they said that that's why it started to become Boxing Day, because they opened up their boxes of alms. No one knows for sure.
Well, either way, I mean, I think it's a nice tradition of
Yes.
giving to the poor or giving to those who were, downtrodden and treated less than all year long. So either way,
At the root of it, today is supposed to be a day of charity, Christian
Yes.
charity, giving,
Yes.
volunteering, and also giving your friends presents. People maybe who don't make it to your Christmas feast or on the invitation list for the big religious holiday, but the next day you extend, and now here's your Boxing Day present, right?
And you know what? It's also a big day for football. I
No,
know
no,
we
no.
had American games yesterday, but I'm
It's a-
talking about the football
Soccer.
that the rest of the world celebrates.
Soccer. Yeah, just keep it real. It's a big
Football.
day for soccer. Yes, it's true. This is a big day for Premier League football for those who follow
You know
the British.
what my house will be watching all day today.
What is the team of? Do you have a Premier League team that the boys love to?
Yeah,
root
we
for?
do Manchester United.
Man
Yeah.
United. not
We are a
Arsenal,
Man U family.
not Chelsea, not Liverpool.
Oh no!
Arsenal.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
right.
We have guests who will sometimes wear that attire in, and we ask them to flip it out on the
Wow.
inside out
Is that
and
bad?
come in before they come into our
Is
home.
it Manchester United? Aren't they sort of like the
kidding.
New York Yankees or the LA? They're like
No, I mean
they're
they
the
are
big rich team. They buy all the most expensive players and just sort
Yeah,
of.
but it doesn't. But for a number of seasons there, they had been, not even in the top 15. So, like, they're coming back now, and I think we're around 6 or 7, maybe even 5. So doing well again, but many new managers. It's been interesting. It's been rocky.
So it is a big sports day. It is a big shopping day too. This is a big,
It
big.
is.
So in England or in the United Kingdom, it's kind of like Black Friday here. The day after Christmas, all the Boxing Day specials go on, and they try to sort of make their big numbers in this final shopping week of the calendar year. And that's a bit. I guess we have a lot of after Christmas sales going on.
I mean,
here.
today is when you take back everything you don't
That's right.
like
You
or
return
doesn't
all the
fit,
things that didn't
and
fit
then
or
you
that
start
you
using
didn't
those
like,
gift
yeah.
cards. I've already gotten lots of emails about day after Christmas deals, 60,
Yes.
70% off. So, we'll take advantage.
But the sporting is not confined to just sitting on your duff and watching soccer all day. It's also a day for horse racing, and are you ready for it? Fox hunting.
That
Right?
sounds fun. That sounds fun,
thank
Larry.
you.
You get your barn jacket on and your Elmer Fudd hat, and you get your rifle.
And your hounds are out there going and finding the foxes, and I don't
You
think
have
they
to
ever
have a
catch
pipe
the fox.
too. I feel like you need to have a little pipe
I would
hanging
love
out of your
to
mouth.
do that. In Northern Virginia they have fox hunts. I don't think they actually ever do anything with the fox,
Okay.
but they chase it down. But
So you
I
can't
would.
shoot it. Well, what's the point?
I don't know if I, don't
I
know
want something around my neck. You know what I mean?
if, there's a lot of.
After that, chasing down the foxes. You want a prize to take home.
I think they banned it, not just here, but in the UK too. You still go through the process of chasing the fox, but then you don't actually do anything when you catch it. You don't.
You can't even use a paintball.
Not not officially. Let's just say that. So anyway, whether you're celebrating the day after Christmas, or if you're celebrating St. Stephen's Day, or if you're celebrating
Yes.
Boxing Day, let's just keep the celebrations rolling all the way through the new year. Happy
Amen.
whatever day you're celebrating today, everyone.
That's right.
554. So Meredith and I have always enjoyed visiting Middleburg, Virginia. Have you ever been to Middleburg? Beautiful. Middleburg.
I think I've been through it, but I've never.
Absolutely. It's where the Salamander Inn is.
Yes,
Robert
yes, I'm
Johnson's
familiar.
ex-wife.
Yes.
Made. Anyway, beautiful place. Known for its fox hunting. If you go down downtown Middleburg, it's like there's actually a great tavern and inn there, bed and breakfast
Okay.
called the Fox and the Hound or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, the point is, obviously, a lot of fox hunting goes on there. It's a big deal,
Okay.
part of the culture. I know we've got listeners in Middleburg. Let us know. We'll do a special O'Connor and Company, WMAL,
I love it, and we can stay at the
Fox
Salamander.
Hunt. We'll stay at
So
the
we can be up
or
early for
there's
it.
many places. Well, let's not, if the Salamander wants to step up and sponsor, sure, absolutely. But, let's
Hey,
not.
yes.
We're very open-minded. But Middleburg, we want to hear from you. It's 6 o'clock.